I'm doing good. You? My name's Jackson. Yeah. What was your name again? Nice to meet you, Henry. Oh, I'm just here to watch. I will. Thank you. Do you know where I can get some coffee? Okay, thank you.
Alright. Alright. I had to turn you guys down because I don't. Actually, I'm going to mute you guys. I'll talk to you guys when you get in
Thank
here,
you,
okay?
sir.
You're very welcome.
Little piece of shit.
Oh, that's not nice. Alright. Oh, actually, I'll just keep you guys turned down a little bit. Alright, perfect. How's everything sound, guys? I've been playing with my sound settings. Some things are working, some things are not. But we're doing the best we can, guys. You know? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? We gotta go like this. Multi-stream. Put this in the live. You guys should be able to see me. What's up? Hey.
You 94?
Where you gonna touch me?
I'm 94, baby.
Copy.
Close to performance mode. Alright, we're cool. We're set.
Don't take my coffee. I just paid for it. Do I have to take my pants off?
God, that's already been done.
Yeah, I know God that's already been
Because there's a lot of people in there already, boys. So
Yeah, well, they've been in and out too.
So,
I definitely recommend they all need to come back to the lobby and be searched because before you go in any federal building, they're supposed to be searched
Yeah.
for weapons.
All right. I'll start searching people, I reckon.
Okay. Yeah, because we don't need no fucking BS going on in here.
Yeah, me either.
no, I agree, guys. I'm not trying to deal with any of that shit tonight. I'm just trying to help out and then go home and maybe have a nice steak dinner tonight. That's my goal.
Have a steak dinner.
With a bourbon. With a bourbon.
I hope it's either 12 or 18 year age.
Oh, maybe. Maybe.
I'm an 18-year fan.
Chief Biddle, I heard you needed to speak with the judge beforehand.
Yeah, we need to speak to him beforehand if possible in private quarters.
All right, I'm gonna see if he's come in just yet, and we will let him know.
Okay, if so, like I said, this is going to pertain to person in question involved, and we don't need word prior.
Alrighty.
It's a respectful question for Mr. King.
Yeah, it's out of respect.
10-4. Let me see if he's in yet.
Okay.
Thank you.
And let you gentlemen know, I got them to reconvene back into the lobby. Anyone that's in the courtroom right now to be searched before entering that courtroom.
Okay. Works for me.
Oh, I gotta wait. Man, that's nerve-wracking. Now you'd think that should be standard practice.
Well, that's what happens when everybody gets here before the door is fully open.
Yeah, well, happens, I guess. Hey, you guys have a light on yet? You got a cigar?
Yeah,
well, we
I
have it away. I got a cigar, so I got actually,
boy.
I got 3 cigars. So we'll see how this goes, boys. If we end up, having to go our way, as I hope it does, we'll have a celebratory cigar. How does it sound, guys?
Sounds like a plan.
Oh yeah, I feel like we got it in the bag.
I think I got like 1 free ticket, right? Like I'm gonna get 1 free one. Or like free parking pass somewhere or something. That'd be great.
Man, we could probably get you some free parking.
All right, hey man, that's worth it. They get you, man, around here. The mayor, it's crazy.
Definitely crazy. Even charging for my cup of coffee.
Cold down here, boys. It's like that weird kind of cold where it's snowing, but it's like that low 30s temp.
Right.
But the sun's bright, so it's just
Yeah,
not
here in the
that
sun's
cold.
not bad. You're in the sun, it's all right. You get that shade, it feels cold.
Courthouse is packed today, boys. There's parking all around this place. It's full.
I bet, man. It's a big thing. This is the thing, guys. What we're trying to do today, guys, is just really set the foundation of where the expectation is with the PD. And
Right.
That's, I don't know if this is going to be aired on Weasel News or not, but, it's just one of those things where our goal is, your guys' goal is protect and serve, and that's something else I'm going to bring up, Kev, so just be prepared. I want you to answer honestly. I know your character, so I feel really comfortable with, if you say something that says the truth. What's it, Mr.
We may want to
As
head.
always.
We may want to head inside, fellas,
All
just
right,
in
let's
this
go,
case he shows up.
Yeah, he's. I think he's gonna be arriving in
Had
minutes.
a screwdriver
See,
snap,
he's
but
in
I
the
don't
area.
really see that being an issue.
You know where the bailiff is?
How's it going, sir?
How you doing?
You an attorney or?
I am an attorney. I'm Willis Henry. I'm representing LSPD today.
Okay.
How you boys doing?
I think we
Pretty
should do a
good.
cavity
Just
search on him.
searching people, making sure they don't have any guns, knives, weapons, or anything.
Come on, it's all good. What's up, Terry Turner? What's up, Travis Novak? How you doing? What's up, everybody?
How you doing, Kev?
I'm doing all right.
Did they give us the green light to start entering in and get our spots?
Yeah, you guys got it.
Okay. All right. Come on, gentlemen.
See, Kev, I'm trying to figure out why you never bring me a cup of coffee.
There's a machine over there. It's probably not the best. It's like finding a trash can for that thing. It's right there behind that desk.
Say all I heard with that X was gonna go ar.
How you doing today, counselor?
Good. How are you today?
Good. That's the defending counsel. Yep.
Oh, you showed me where the coffee machine is.
Chris Parr, I'm gonna be co-counsel for the plaintiff. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Willis Henry.
Of all these cops in search,
Oh, you weren't supposed to have a gun in court.
So,
if you're an officer of the law, you can.
Kev, we're actually gonna be pulling you through as a witness. So, if you want to go have a seat right behind us, I know that you'll have to get sworn in and whatnot.
Now we're pulling tasers.
I have to pull a taser out. Because he said that.
Oh, and oh, there we go.
All right, guys. Oh, I wish I would have told him that. I just saw that word. Damn.
Cold in here.
Yeah. So what this is, guys, this is the case. I'm gonna read it out. I'm gonna read the petition for court, civil court appearance here today, of why we're here. Okay, guys, and then we're gonna just see how it goes. I can only give so much information as this. We're just going with this. So if anybody tuned in, I think probably about 6 weeks ago we did a stream where we did something. We did a court hearing. We put our evidence in. That's what this is for. So everyone's available. We're here.
Want to sit here? Or...
So let's go ahead. So basically, what the statement is for everybody
Gotcha.
is that Mr. Vaughn has summarized it. He was in a location,
But if you want,
passive, no trespassing. He's stating PTSD is the reason why he ran, and he sustained damages because he was tased and subdued, cuffed. When he came to, got up and ran again, close to a cliff. Again, he was injured. So there's some money stuff going in here. You know, he's going in here pretty deep. So we're gonna play around with this, guys. We're gonna see how we do. Okay, so let's see how it goes.
Do you know where the trash is?
It's gonna be in the lobby, sir.
Does that mean I have to get searched again?
No. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. I'm gonna mute myself in here, guys. So, actually, I better not. Let me just. What?
Yeah, I'll just talk in here for whispering.
Alright, we all want to just get ourselves on mute and we'll talk if we need to.
Yeah.
All right, I'm muting myself.
All right, everybody. Just to let you guys know, the judge is running a few minutes late.
again.
He should be here momentarily.
Can you guys hear everybody okay, guys?
Told him he
Alright.
was getting too old.
Thank you, bailiff.
You guys got that? Judge will be here shortly.
Here's my question.
Nope, absolutely.
Hey,
Thank
Richie,
you.
I'm gonna go in my head for about 2 minutes.
Where's Blanco?
Isn't it him in the black suit?
I don't know. I haven't heard his voice yet. That's why I was trying to figure it out.
I think it is.
Right there in the black suit.
It just didn't sound like him. That's why I was like, who the fuck is that guy?
All right, I had to turn you down. You're fucking loud. Fuck.
Sorry.
I mean, it's my fault. I had you 170%.
Well, I used to have a shitty mic.
I'm trying to keep.
Talk to the judge yet?
I'm trying to keep the immersion. No, I haven't talked to the judge yet.
No, we're still waiting on.
We can request it maybe if we do a recess or something. or you guys just wait and do it outside. You have it organized. You have a couple officers. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is at that point. But I just want to be respectful to the judge in his courtroom. How was this guy just standing here staring at me for? But I'm gonna go over and snap his neck.
Excuse me, sir.
More people file it?
Has he already been searched?
I'm about to put out a message. LOL. Be advised, all crimes have to be on hold.
That's Biddle beside me. LSPD is getting sued, so we are defending LSPD. What's up, Rubber Dove?
Is there usually this many cops to record?
You should have seen the discovery hearing.
I don't know what that is.
And it's where we kind of exchange evidence and
Get me, Steve.
who's
What do you
gonna
get?
witness
You
and
where?
stuff like that. So
Where you
it's a
getting?
lot more.
It took me.
Sorry. I'm good, Robert. How you doing, man?
Can I sit by you?
Yes. Do you know how long it took me to get that smoke?
We probably should have just had you guys all just come in plain clothes. There's a lot of cops in this motherfucker.
We're all on duty. We're all taking calls.
In here?
Some of us are. Well, once I get done, I am. I was on duty, taking calls, came here, and I got my uniform. This is my uniform.
Well, I guess to sue him. Greg Myers says, "Oh shit! I thought this was some court simulator game. We're gonna try and make it." Oh, right on, man. Well, I hope you would get yourself all settled in for nights.
Kevin's just chilling back there. Please tell me the fire truck's not pulling up outside.
Oh man, Grandpa Watson walks in here right now.
Limping and all.
Oh, you hit me with the door.
You gotta be top notch in court. It is court. What's up, Ryan Middleton? How you doing, man?
Didn't even say sorry.
What's up, everybody? Welcome. Welcome. Do nothing. Do boom.
Sorry, but I just got a new tooth, so no gun right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you in pain?
Oh no, I'm good. It's only been like 3 or 4. Oh, thanks. It's because I do yoga.
You'd still ugly, but it's alright.
Point at something, Biddle? How do you point?
Say it again, bud.
Hold on.
I said that Reed looks a little ugly down there.
Filters.
They don't get no sun.
Wow. Thank you, Jeff Largo, for the 4,465 stars. Court time.
Thank you, Jeff Lago, with the 4,464 stars. Thank you, dude. Thank you so much. Yeah, I know he's been working like a mother trucker, dude. I see him on the TikTok, and he is.
He got no hours.
He's working, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe we should put an LOA in. I'm not really sure. I don't get intermingled, but
I think he does have one.
I know he's busy.
Yeah, you got a Snicker bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one for you. Hang on.
Hey, try saying something, Biddle.
What's up?
No, not in game. Talk to me in here. Say it again.
I think my nose itches.
Okay.
Thinking this.
Try again.
Is this judge showing up or what?
Trying to get this damn
Oh,
threshold to settle in.
Oh,
Yeah. Wrong button.
magician.
Oh, well, I'll try it
Yeah,
out,
sit right
guys.
there.
What's up, everybody?
Do we got a
2:15 a.m. Damn.
Do we got a
Time to get ready
priest
for
in
bed,
here?
dude. Time for bed.
We need one because he over here levitating. Oh, thank you.
Here you go, Reed.
Oh, booty ass.
Snickers out.
This is he greedy.
No, hey, no food in the courtroom.
I didn't realize having all these cops here would just be like having a bunch of frat brothers just sitting behind you. Ooh, you got gum? Yeah, dude. We'll have beer after this.
I think you got a department to worry about.
We're just waiting on the judge, guys. We're waiting on the judge.
That's why your ear itching me, because you're nosy.
So many pigs here.
So many pigs.
Just word of wisdom. Probably not the best idea to say that in a room full of officers.
I can get your mini close.
Did you what?
Remember your little mini cab that showed up on the top right?
I have no clue, man. My daughter accidentally did it.
Remember how to get it to close?
You have to open up CAD, scroll over to it, and hit the X button.
CAD's opened up on a different computer.
Open up CAD inside. All you do is hit show CAD.
How's it going, Sheriff?
I think it's the guy in the uniform swaying back and forth.
Wow. Thank you, Jeff Lago, for the 9,525 stars. Biddle is guilty.
Thank you, Jeff Lago. 9,525 stars says Biddle is guilty.
Biddle didn't do it. Biddle's not guilty.
You smell good.
Oh,
That's awesome.
It's
I don't know. I mean, I am for hire, man. So if he's sending stars, I might have to bomb this whole thing and pay him a couple $100,000.
Oh, yeah. It's good for the skin. It keeps it hydrated.
I mean, Biddle actually provided the sanctions, said it was okay to assault people when they were cuffed.
Where at that farm up in Grapeseed?
I'm just fucking with you, Biddle.
I've been had a gun held to the back of my neck this whole time.
Wow. No, I feel like we'll do
That's
okay.
all your knuckles. So it's looking mighty ashy.
He said to tell you he misses you. I don't think I can give him a hug right now for him.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that unless we win.
Who's this Blaine County Sheriff just sitting here like this? I'm just zoomed in. I got him all zoomed to my forehead. It looks great. I mean, the textures look awesome, but...
Oh, here we go. Fucking fart times.
That's,
Oh, yeah, man.
That's, Jacob sitting right behind you. Or standing
Can
behind
you smell that?
God, it smells like
Yo,
burned
upper lip.
garbage.
Kevin, that's your breath. You need to.
That's your breath.
Hey, you on our side?
I object.
No, I just don't like
Overruled.
there.
We're getting stacked. He said, "Come visit you at the county jail." What's up, Sizemore? How you doing, dude?
Yep. Pike, tell Ashley I said,
Bugsy, the guy behind us, he's supporting us.
She said, "Hey,
he knows
bestie."
we're right.
Hey, bestie.
I'm not
Are usually all your cop buddies like this?
I'm not supporting you.
I try to tell him it's time for this sheriff to retire.
Are you guys all normal or whispering here?
Shouting.
Just wanted to inform
Oh,
everybody
okay.
the judge is on the way and should be
I think we
here
need to step
in
up to the
2
podium.
minutes.
Wait a minute, the judge late.
Yeah, that judge is late as shit.
Yeah, he late. It's supposed to start at 9 o'clock. They're supposed to be like, all rise.
Did you guys not get the memo? He sent out an email that said he was going to be late.
Oh, I didn't see that email.
Yeah, he sent out the email, said he's going to be late. Running a couple minutes late, got stuck in traffic. Or something like that.
That's funny.
Yeah, I got here early, but then again, not everybody drives a four-wheel drive.
That's not Blanco. I'm telling you, that's not Blanco.
Can we verify that's him?
Yeah, that's on you guys. I mean, I'm not really sure. Like, I guess we can ask the chambers. Why do you feel like it's not Blanco?
Voice.
I guess we have to wait till he talks.
If you don't think it matches up, then you tell me. We'll object and we'll fucking.
Just wait till he talks. I mean, it's got somewhat the same look, but it's
Listen, if I want you to know that I'm on my way to be a very,
Excuse me, Sheriff.
a very esteemed lawyer
How's it
here
going,
in the
I gotta
state
get
of
by you real
San
quick, buddy.
Andreas. And if I object,
I gotta
and you
go
have no
use the
fucking idea
restroom.
what you're talking about, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna charge you extra for that. I want you to know that.
If you look at the mugshot and the report you got, look at the phone you got. That's not him.
Sorry, right? I'm sorry, dude. I'm different spot. That was Sizemore.
Do you have a whereabouts, Deputy Crockett?
Yeah, that's
Deputy Crockett. I do believe he
Okay,
is
then we
on
need to get the
vacation at the
bailiff.
moment.
I'll approach. I'll approach.
But
Didn't he ask you or say he was representing the?
yeah, at the moment he's on vacation.
Not a problem. All right, thank you, sir.
Not a problem.
Yeah, Kevin, that's not him.
That's Cisco.
I'll say it's not him.
The one in the black suit, I'm pretty sure is Cisco.
Well, how come the guy's not here?
Who's the one on the right?
You guys would please follow me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty, sir.
Alrighty. What can I do for you, Chief Biddle?
How you doing, Your Honor?
Oh, pretty good,
Your
sir.
Honor.
Hello. What can we do for you?
Hey, so
Yeah, let me just make sure I keep my voice lowered here.
yeah.
So the gentleman, is Mr. Blanco supposed to be in court today with us?
He doesn't necessarily have to be in court today, with this being opening statements. If we do move into instant trial, he doesn't necessarily have to be here either. He just has to have representation.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you want to call the individual as a witness, then we'll have to subpoena him on grounds. We could probably work it out where we can speak with his counsel and make sure that he is made available for questioning.
Okay. Well, I mean, the reason I ask, and just, I guess this would be off the record, and I didn't know if we wanted to make it the record, but our intentions were, regardless of how today's hearing, how everything pans out, Mr. Blanco does have an active bolo for his arrest for crimes committed against the state. And this
Does he have a bolo or does he have a warrant?
So they're bolos, one from the 7th of this month, and then just last night we had another running around with him on another incident that he took off from us on foot as well, that we were going to address the second we got out of here. In the regards of, we were trying to be respectful and trying to obtain him in a peaceful manner inside the courthouse was the goal, instead of dragging this back out in the streets to cause a bigger issue than it needed to be for questioning and whatnot. But if he's not here, even though we figured he
Derek,
would be,
thank you for the 45 stars, man. I appreciate that.
Questioning and whatnot. But we just happened to notice the gentleman out there is not him. So
okay, all right. So what were the dates for his bolos?
The one was on the 7th of November. And then the one last night hasn't been placed just due to the fact it was just recent. Last night, the officer hasn't come back on shift to be able to finish that bolo. It was at the end of his shift last night, and there was a lot of issues in the city last night, crime-wise. Okay. The reports got backed up.
Okay, so we will have another bolo. Do you have any sufficient evidence to warrant, or not so much warrant, but
based off,
go ahead.
Based off prior interactions with the subject. Voice was recognized, and then once he was asked to step off, he decided to take off on foot. He did have a full mask on, was on a vehicle owning to a Benjamin Blanco, but claimed he wasn't, gave a fake name that didn't come back, and whatnot. So we're grounds to believe that was going to be him on the vehicle that when he took off on us.
So do you feel you have sufficient grounds to issue a warrant for his arrest in relation to the events of November 7th?
November 7th is going to be I believe, state issue, maybe a county. I'd have to check their jurisdiction to double check. I mean, they've got representation out here in the audience. Maybe I can double check with them and we can verify. That was their incident. I believe Trooper Kehoe is the one who signed off as the supervisor on that incident. So again, we can check with them and see if there's enough.
Tell them I'll get him on. Sorry, if I take the shoes off.
Okay, so regardless of that,
I would love that. I get
we'll
everybody
move
in the whole
forward,
corner
at least with opening statements tonight. If you guys, if you are wanting to call him as a witness, or not so much a witness, but so that you can question him and that sort of thing, then if he doesn't show up himself, then he'll probably be subpoenaed. Again, this is a civil trial; it's not a criminal trial, so things are a little different. Obviously, if he's not going to show up and answer, it could affect the case and that sort of thing.
Understand
his side of things. Plus, I'm going to have to deal with an administrative issue, which be one of the first things we go over this evening once we get started here. So.
Okay. Like I said, out of our respects, that was what we were wanted to approach you for.
Do you not
he hasn't showed up. When we realized he wasn't here present in the courtroom.
Look at you guys with your scruffy scruff.
Not really going to affect it today, obviously. So
Okay. Well, and it'll be addressed
Okay.
once we get started here as well.
Okay.
So
we did, like I said, we were under the assumption everybody was supposed to be here. We did bring the other individuals that were required for us. So again, that's just a misunderstanding on our end. We do apologize.
No, so you know, opening statements is its own simple trial. Now, depending upon where everybody was
funny,
and that
Moyer.
sort of thing,
That's awesome.
could have moved straight in
Look
the
at you
beginning of the
guys, you're
trial,
scruffy scrub.
or
Best looking guy
we
here.
can
I'm sure
adjourn
represent you.
after opening statements and schedule for
Moyer's
the
your joke
beginning of the
at
trial
work. He
on a
became bus
different
driver,
date.
guys.
So,
Gotta
and I
see
do
all the stuff
apologize
that
for
goes, "Why'd you become bus
my
driver?"
tardiness.
Oh,
Just
overcome
got
my
back
biggest
from
fear.
the
Can I
hospital
say
visiting
driving?
with my
You
brother,
can't.
Agent
No
King.
dying alone.
He was, you know,
That's pretty
involved in basically took his aircraft took a missile
That's
during
pretty funny. I like it.
Agent Brown's retirement from the sheriff's department. So been kind of dealing with that for the last week, back and forth. So
understand. Well, we do apologize again. We'll get out of your hair so we can get this thing started and get you out of here. And again, thank you for the time.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Your Honor. Oh, hey, last question I have. Do you want us coming up to that podium each time?
That would be best.
Okay.
And then just for all parties involved, probably try and speak up a little bit. Like
All
there's a microphone actually there. So.
Gotcha. Roger, Roger. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
I would make him mad.
No. How are you supposed to rise if you're not fucking sitting down? How are you ever supposed to rise if you're?
Jesus. I just didn't want to fall to the chair like I did last time.
I don't want you to fall to the chair either, buddy.
What?
Alright, while this is happening, I gotta get his information right here, guys. What he's going for cash. And we're gonna ask to have everything dismissed. So pain and suffering. He's looking for 75K. He wants criminal. Neglect. And that he's saying 125,000. And then he's going wrongful use of force.
I don't know. Good sucker.
$100,000 for that. Yeah, I want to get all this shit wiped. Emotional distress.
Hey Reed.
Of course, you can put a price on that.
Yeah. Does your head get hot in that hat?
Can your head fit in your hat?
Kinda. It's a little
Maybe.
tight.
Yeah, that's all it is. I mean, it's a little hot.
Wrongful arrest. And he wants 150K for that.
Damn, you guys never shut the hell up.
For 500,000 total. We want all that wiped. We're not paying shit.
It's the first time I spoke.
Hey, if we don't pay anything, you're gonna pay me more. How's this work, Biddle?
Everyone in the courtroom, all rise.
God.
Don't clash, Grandpa.
You ready? Come on.
You ready?
The Honorable Charles P. King presiding.
That's hilarious.
Y'all may be
Terry.
seated.
You would do it this time.
Let's see the chair.
All right, I apologize to both counsels for my tardiness. Brother has he's been in the hospital after being injured in line of duty, so a couple administrative things I want to take care of at this point. I made a mistake at the last trial, and I had asked the plaintiff how they wanted to if it wanted to be judge's decision or by trial. That is wrong. That is actually up to the defendant in terms of how the facts and judgment would come through. So So I'm going to head this over to the defendant side of things. Do you want to go ahead and let me adjudicate this case, or would you like to have a trial by a jury?
Are you comfortable with them?
What have you done?
Your Honor, we're comfortable with the judge's decision.
Okay, so we will continue.
Just because I'm not rescheduling this again, bud.
We're here for opening statements today. I do have a question for the plaintiff counsel. If you could approach the podium, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. No, just the podium there, sir.
Bailiff should be knocking it out right there.
I just wanted to make this a matter of record. It has come to my attention that your client currently
I wonder if
has
I
a
can
bolo
put this
out
live in the
for
Discord, in the LARP
questioning
Discord.
in relation to some
You
things
get-
that happened on November 7th. Is your client here?
Negative, sir. He had to leave the state due to excruciating circumstances with a family death, and they were in North Yankton, just the next state over. However, I do ask for relevance of this, retaining as this is after the fact of what we are going over.
Ooh,
So
that's good. There you go. Piss him
we're
off.
not gonna. I'm not here at this particular point to change any kind of an outcome, change any kind of a decision or anything like that. Mr. Blanco has his rights, and we will continue with this case. It's just at this particular point, we had looked at possibly moving on to trial after opening statements, and with the possibility of defense possibly calling your client as a witness. It's going to make it kind of difficult just for the simple fact that your client isn't here to answer for that when he's called as a witness. So just getting clarification on that sort of thing. So, we are still going to continue with trial. It doesn't have any bearing or relevance on any kind of a decision, as far as I'm going to be looking at all the facts and the evidence and that sort of thing in relation to that. So.
Okay, that's fine, Your Honor, as long as it's relevant to the case presiding and not anything after or before.
No. So, all right. Since you're at the podium, you can go ahead and begin with your opening statement, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Honor. So for this,
yeah. Well, if I want to call him,
I don't want to say my client's perfect. No one is perfect, especially when they get, arrested for stuff. Nobody is perfect, as we all know, and we all make mistakes. This is a mistake that my client is made and has definitely pressed on it, and is really apologetic as far as what's happened. He does state that due to his PTSD, his medical condition that he had, that it did play effect, and he does officially do apologize for the way he did act on that day. However, at the same time, we have to look at our law enforcement. Our law enforcement, they're hired to uphold the law. They are kept to a higher standard than most citizens and most people because they have to enforce the laws of the state. With that, though, they also have a duty to make sure that the people that they arrest during the time of questioning, after the arresting or interrogation or anything, that they are protected, that their well-being is kept within what they're supposed to be. Even after a person is arrested,
some pictures, guys.
it could be for any amount of crime, no matter how heinous it is. They are still due with having to have respect. Fortunately, in this circumstance, it led to a misjudgment on an officer's part and led to my client, falling down a cliff 30, 40 to 50 feet down a cliff face due to the I want to say the willful negligence, not the willful negligence, but just negligence of what it was done as a taser. With that being said, my client is willing to work with the city, whether that be
Did he serve time for this?
through retraining of officers, on proper
Did he
use
get
of
jailed?
force etiquette, especially when someone is already detained and in handcuffs, to, also reducing the amount of settlement that we are looking forward to. So with that, that is pretty much my opening remarks.
Thank you, sir. You may be seated. All right, defense, you can go ahead and open with your opening statement.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, as my opening statement is, the plaintiff is stating that he was criminally neglected, wrongful use, pain and suffering, emotional distress, wrongful arrest are all things that were part of the petition for the court hearing today. We feel very strongly that the plaintiff is a dangerous man, and that what he is suing the Los Santos Police Department for is unfair and unjust. And as far as our opening statement is, we'd be asked to also work with the plaintiff to come to common ground and close the case.
All right, thank you, sir. You can be seated.
Sorry, what?
I want to hear what these guys are going to say first a little bit.
We're just not getting too much info.
I don't want to get. I want to hear a little bit.
All right, so kind of what I'm gathering from the opening statements here, is both the plaintiff and the defense interested in pursuing a settlement at this time?
The plaintiff is willing to look at settlement at a reduced rate of what we had filed for, sir.
Okay. Defense?
The defense is seeking to dismiss all settlement claims.
Okay, so defense is not interested in settlement.
What do you think, Biddle?
Just tell them.
Your Honor, give me one moment just to.
Yes. Go ahead and confer with your client.
Okay, so what do you think of Biddle?
Medical is the only thing I would think we need to cover. If they can provide us the medical expenses that it cost him to be in the hospital for that time.
Okay. You feel
we'll reimburse for that.
Okay.
Because he was technically within our care at the time.
Okay.
He was under our custody.
You got it. Your Honor?
Yes.
The defense would feel comfortable in settling for strictly the medical charges and the medical request from the plaintiff while he was in our care.
So defense is willing to settle for medical expenses?
Expense of medical while the plaintiff is in the hospital while under care of law enforcement.
Okay, so defense is not willing to settle for the pain and suffering, wrongful use of force, emotional distress.
Do you want to pick one or no?
Wrongful arrest and criminal negligence.
Pain and suffering, you want to count that, or what do you want to do? Your Honor, unless pain and suffering would be concluded under the medical portion of the plaintiff, then the defense would request that or decline to accept anything on the list.
Plaintiff, would your client be interested in looking at settlement of just the medical expenses that were incurred?
We definitely would entertain the medical expenses such as pain and suffering. We would like to also, if possible, to include the emotional distress.
What's the emotional distress?
That's 50,000.
Legal fees.
That's not a medical. That's not
defense.
Your Honor, let me just consult my client quickly.
Go ahead, please, sir.
We're all going to cover whatever the medical bill they could bring notified us and charged him for his injuries.
I know, but that's not how it's gonna. We're gonna have to just agree to something on here. So if pain and suffering is what you're willing to do for medical, then if you want to tell him no, we're not doing emotional distress, get fucked. Just tell me. I'll tell him. I don't care.
It's pain and suffering.
Pain and suffering. I'm gonna. It's what he's asking for.
He's asking for pain. He's asking for pain and suffering and the
Emotional distress. Each of those pain and suffering 75,000. Emotional stress is 50.
I say unless it's on his printed medical bill, we're not paying anything that's not on that paper.
Your Honor, with further consulting with my client, we would only be willing to pay or willing to settle with the medical bill during his stay while he was in the hospital in our care. The defendant is not willing to take responsibility or pay for the request made in the petition.
Mr. Rich, do you understand the reasoning for, excuse me, apologize, the reasoning for defense not wanting to assume any liability beyond medical care?
I do, Your Honor. Unfortunately, if that's all they're going to want to do, we'll have to deny that settlement, sir.
I'm sorry, can you speak up, sir?
Apologies. Due to the if that's all they're going to willing to do is for the hospital bill, while he was under under arrest at the time, we'll have to deny settlement then, and wish to proceed to trial then.
All right. Okay. So from my previous statement, so is the defense going to want to call the plaintiff as a witness during this trial?
I'm going to say yes. Your Honor, the defense would absolutely be interested in calling the plaintiff as a witness.
Okay, so due to the extenuating circumstances that the plaintiff's counsel has explained to me, being that he's currently out of the state for an emergency, family emergency, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to schedule the trial to commence. Go ahead.
Pardon me, Your Honor, real quick. Sorry about that.
Yes.
Just real quick, if my plaintiff is going to be a witness of the trial, could we just do the questioning of my plaintiff or of my client on another day, but continue with the trial that we have right here currently? And just
Your Honor,
well, at some
the defense would second that notion as well.
Okay, so we can do a continuance once we get started. At which point we will have to adjourn until the plaintiff is available for questioning.
Depends how bad you guys want it. You guys want it that bad,
on the stand. If everybody is comfortable with that, we can go ahead and move into the opening portion of the full trial. Does anybody object?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so all right, Mr. Rich, you can go ahead and call your first witness and present your facts.
Yes, Your Honor. The first witness that the plaintiff will call forward will be Mr. Bugsy Siegel.
Mr. Siegel, if you can approach the witness box here to my left.
Are they going to swear him in or no? Can I write me wonders if they're going to swear him in?
Bailiff, can you issue him oath, please?
All right, cool. Fuck, man, come on.
Please raise
What's
your
up,
hand,
Danny?
sir.
How you doing, dude?
Your right hand.
Just your right.
I lean forward to let you know that every Leo
Do
vehicle
you
outside
swear
has been
to
keep
tell the truth and only the truth
really?
in your
Every single one.
testimony, so help you God?
What the fuck, man?
They
All
keyed
right, you
my
may be seated,
Mercedes.
sir.
Let me pass.
Mr. Rich, your witness.
All right, Mr. Bugsy, can you go ahead and state your full name for the record? And your, for the record, can you go ahead and state your occupation?
Hang on.
All right, Mr. Siegel. Can you go ahead and explain to me your relationship with the client?
You better just say Your Honor.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes.
We can't hear him at all back at our,
Okay.
our desk. If you could speak up,
Could
we'd
you
appreciate
speak
it.
up, Mr. Seagal?
You hear me?
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you. You go ahead and continue, sir.
What was that, Richie? I'm sorry.
It's
You
okay.
guys hear him okay,
So,
guys? What's up, Jimmy
can
D?
you go ahead and explain your relationship to the between you and my client?
Yeah, man, we're good buds, man.
I'm gonna grab a
We
beer real
also
quick,
work
guys. I'll be
together.
right back. If they chat,
Okay.
if they say
How long
something,
have you known my
just
client?
say something. Can you hear me, Biddle? You understand?
About 2 or 3 years now.
They want me to cross-examine.
And how would you describe my client?
Oh man, he's a good dude, man. He has a good heart. He may be a little tough around the edges, but he has a good heart, man.
Would you say that if someone off the street was to come up to my client, that my client would be looking terrified, looking like someone that someone would be terrified of?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Do you know of any gang affiliations that my client's part of?
Yes.
Okay, which one is that one?
Sons of Death MC Club.
Okay. Now, is that a criminal organization,
What's up,
a
Austin?
bike organization? Is it what kind of club is it?
We're a motorcycle club, and we own a vineyard.
Okay. So, how often would you guys say that you guys meet?
We meet very often. We're very often together.
Awesome. Okay. Were you with my client on the day of August 1st?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you describe in your own words what happened that day?
Yeah, man, we were driving around. We went up there to the dam, and just looking around. Cops came up, talking about they told somebody we were trespassing or whatever. They had told somebody before us that they were trespassing, told them to get out of there. They gave that guy a chance to get out of there, but never gave us a chance. Like, it was immediate.
How would you be able to place him for that?
Immediate, like, gunpoint, then taser point, then
there was only 2.
Like, it was just straight action.
Well, I'll cross-examine.
Okay, so you stated that they had
How many people at the dam?
stopped someone else, correct?
Yeah, man. One of our other boys that we don't currently speak to right now. But he had went up there before, and apparently they told him he was trespassing and get out.
Any other questions? Anything else you see you hear that throws off? I'm gonna jot down, ask him for my cross.
He went up there.
Okay. So with that being said, you said that you guys went up to the dam, correct?
Yes, sir.
Were you guys seeing any, do not enter signs, do not, going towards the dam?
No, not at all, man. I mean, we would have definitely not entered if we saw that type of stuff. But going in, we didn't see no signs of do not enter, no signs of no trespassing, none of that.
Have you been up to the dam before this incident before?
So, do you feel comfortable if I were to go
Before
up and
this
say,
incident, I have not.
when the officer arrived on scene, I'm going to ask
Okay,
him how many people
so
there were, and if he says
you were
he said
unaware
him
of
and
like
those two, I'm
multiple
gonna say,
entry
"What
routes
is
into the
officer
dam?
on scene has you? Do you have that written in your report? No.
Yeah, I was like, we kind of
About a second person shooting at the detectives.
Okay. Was there any other civilians driving around the dam?
Find it for me. We'll find it really quick.
All right. But ask him what his plate is that's registered to him to the bike
Not that I
he was
recall.
driving up to the dam. Because if it's the one that was taken,
Okay.
that's in my arrest report.
Well, can you look him up? Can you look him up or no?
That is all the questions I have currently, Your Honor.
Okay. Defense, your witness.
He said he knew.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm looking him up now.
All right, guys, and you guys quiet down for a second. Quiet down for a second. Hello, sir. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. My name is Willis Henry. Couple questions. So I was listening to what you were saying to the plaintiff. Now, when you said you guys were out riding around, you guys said you guys are part of a motorcycle club.
Correct, sir.
How many people are part of that club?
It's a couple of us.
A couple? I mean, if you had to put a number on us, I mean, how many do you think there is?
On the advice of the council, I invoke my Fifth Amendment.
Okay, I respect that. I respect that. So the day of this incident, you stated that you guys were riding around. Can you describe to me what the weather was like that day?
It was a nice day out.
It was a nice day. Okay, so you were on your bike.
I kind of don't remember, to be honest with you, what I was on.
Oh, because I'm sorry. I thought when you told you told the plaintiff that you were out riding around that day on your bikes. I was just, was that true?
Negative, sir.
It was not true.
I invoke my Fifth Amendment, sir.
Okay. All right. So I can carry on to the next question then. So you guys said that you guys went up by the dam. What were you guys doing up by the dam?
Like I told this gentleman, man, we went up there to kind of exploring.
Okay. And you stated that you didn't see any signs or anything.
Correct. Didn't see no signs.
Okay. Okay. Where did you guys go in the dam?
Kind of just exploring the area, walking around.
Did you go downstairs at all? Did you get to go in any rooms? What was it? Can you describe the dam to me?
Objection, Your Honor. Asked and answered.
Sustained.
So, sir, circle back with no signs, sir. There's it was found there was signs there stating that there was to be no trespassing, sir. I don't know. Did you guys just happen not to see those day?
Objection, Your Honor. Asked and answered. Client witness has already stated he saw no signs as such.
Sustained.
Well, on behalf of the evidence that was put into the hearing on our preliminary hearing, there was evidence stated that there was signage in that area where the Mr. Blanco was at, and this gentleman as well.
Your Honor, counsel's testifying.
Counsel, do you have a question to ask of the witness?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. How many people were with you, sir, at the dam that day?
On the advice of the council, I invoke my Fifth Amendment.
Okay, Your Honor. Yeah, at this time, I have no further questions for the witness.
Plaintiff's counsel wish to cross?
Yes, Your Honor.
The plate is registered to him for that second bike that was stolen after.
He's not gonna.
All right, Mr. Bugsy. So,
but I don't think you should be in
as
the
was
ear
brought
for
up by the
this.
defense counsel,
You shouldn't be in a
they
Discord
stated
call
that
for this. If you're a witness, you got to be there. Like if you go
that-
up the witness stand, I'm
about the
crossing.
signs. You said you didn't see any, correct?
You because like we already talked about what we would do in real life, how you would do it. You know what I mean? Once you're up there, that's on you, man.
I believe that's all I have for right now, Your Honor.
All right, witness, you may go back to the gallery.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What's your title right now, Kev?
Thank you, sir.
system sheet.
Just want to make sure I get it 100% right.
Mr. Rich, you can call your next client, or excuse me, your next witness.
Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, my next witness for the proceedings was going to be a former LSPD Sergeant Crockett, who is now employed by Blanco County Sheriff's. Unfortunately,
Moyer,
he is on vacation, was not able to be here as well. So
Thank you,
currently there is no additional witnesses other than discovery testimony from myself.
Do you have additional discovery since the discovery portion of the case?
Just from evidence that was submitted, stuff that was kind of duplicated evidence between defense and myself, that I would like to point out. But again, we can do that after witness questioning.
Okay. So you have no more witnesses to call at this time?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. So due to that fact, we cannot move over to the defense portion at this time. Plaintiff, you need to be able to finish with all the witnesses unless you are going to go ahead and waive calling those witnesses.
I can waive calling the witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay. Let the record state that the
I was pretty
plaintiffs are
sure he said in the
waiving
record
calling
that he
additional
fucking was riding his
witnesses.
bike
Does
up there that
the
day.
plaintiff rest their case at this time?
Plaintiff rests for any further witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay, so go ahead and continue.
He can though, because technically he's not.
With the discovery of evidence, Your Honor.
Not, but he can invoke his fifth because he doesn't say something criminal.
So for the evidence discovery, Your Honor, as mentioned previously, there was some duplication of evidence between myself and the defense. A lot of it being, reports, as you probably have seen. One thing I'll note about these reports, on all of these reports, is the date that the state record had received these reports into the filing system, into the system of record, based off of, and also when the signature was submitted on these reports. On these reports, supposedly these reports were signed and completed on 8/1. However, they were not uploaded into the state system until 8/5 and 8/6, which begs me to think that there was some alternate what's the word? Some information that may have been put into the reports that wasn't necessarily at the time of the incident.
Your Honor, I object to that.
It goes to the accuracy, stating as how the dates on the reports were after the date of the initial incident and after the date of the initial contact with attorney, client, and the police department.
All right, Mr. Rich, who is the individual that is?
This is co-counsel. Apologies, Your Honor. The co-counsel, Chris Parr.
So let the record state that plaintiff has co-counsel Chris Parr. Mr. Parr, ensure that do we have your law license on file, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. I do have my bar card with me if you would like that as well.
No, I'll hold it on good faith that Mr.
This
Rich
guy's a
did
fucking
not bring
junior
in,
bartender, huh? He's an explorer of the
No,
bar
sir.
program.
Okay. All right. So, just for the future reference, Mr. Rich, if you're going to include co-counsel, we need to make sure that the court is aware of that. In terms of,
I knew about it, but whatever.
Working for the plaintiff and that sort of thing. So that's just good for.
If he asked me, I'm going to say I plead the fifth.
Your Honor, that's my apologies. It was a last-minute decision made by myself and him. We did not have a chance to notify. I do apologize on that. I will take responsibility on that.
Lawyers come with RPG. Do not do that,
We
Moyer.
just for future reference, if you're going to include additional counsel, please make note of that with opening of the proceedings and that sort of thing, so that way court records can have the correct accuracy, as you guys are discussing at this particular point in time. So, so you're basically questioning the validity and accuracy of state record based on the simple fact that the dates were different.
Not only that, Your Honor, there was also inconsistencies between reports as well, between the use of force reports of the former San Andreas State Police officer that assisted with LSPD. The San Andreas State Police officer stated that on narrative and on the official document that on the second instance of when my client got up and was in handcuffs, and again apologized that he was running because of his D that kicked in with him being restrained. He did take off. According to both reports, at no time did the defendant or the state trooper that was on scene give commands to stop.
Your Honor, I object to that.
Your Honor, it's nowhere in any of the report, and there's no body cam footage that can justify that, as I still have not received any body cam footage according with the SOP that was submitted.
Okay, so at this particular point, we're discussing hearsay between plaintiff and defense, correct?
Well, I got on. It's not really hearsay when it's on official documents, sir. Once they sign that document and put it in writing, that becomes legally, a legal sworn testament under perjury.
So you are correct in that particular instance, but you're also noted within your filing that your client did hear that come from the officers that were on scene, correct?
At the first time that he got tased, yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
The second time, no.
Okay, so we're just gonna, at this point, they told him the first time, and so the second time it's not gonna apply. That's, I mean,
okay,
at this point you're looking
good. He's got it.
You're splitting
Well,
hairs.
Your Honor, I've got one report saying that he supposedly slipped, and then another report saying that he was tased. So there's inaccuracies in the report. There's only that, Your Honor. But when he was placed in handcuffs, the officers were now obligated to make sure the safety of my client. Rayford versus Nelson 2002 clearly states it, along with Graham versus Connor 1989, states that unless unless an officer can articulate why they needed to use a taser, it is classified as an illegal use of force.
So your client running after being placed in cuffs, which
he posed no threat, so there should have been no taser. They could have grabbed him. They could have chased him.
Is evading
they
not a
could have
felony?
used nightstick. There's no reason for an escalation to a taser, sir.
Well, I mean, a nightstick is pretty much the same as a taser. Taser is considered less than lethal. Nightstick is considered less than lethal.
Well,
but both
I don't think
can lead to death. That's why it's considered less than lethal and not considered non-lethal.
Correct, Your Honor, but
okay.
the taser, administers a voltage that can be lethal, whereas a nightstick, it would have to be purposely lethal in order to die from it. Again, like you said, non-lethal can possibly be lethal, but again, they should have either one, as soon as he was in cuffs, grabbed him, which didn't make any sense why they didn't, and then again.
Your Honor, the defense is going to object to relevancy.
Relevancy goes to the fact of the use of force continuum leading up to the usage of taser, involving the fact that the nightstick is classified as a strike according to the use of force continuum, whereas taser is classified as the next level up, being less than lethal, into LSPD and San Andreas State Police standard operating procedures.
I'm sorry, sir, but I was speaking to the defense, to the honor.
Yes, however, we do have a right to speak as to what the relevance is according to the objection.
Yes, the other, and same thing. If they were to object to you, counsel, you could, speak up on relevance, that sort of thing. So, at this particular time, I'm going to sustain the objection just for the simple fact that
you're talking about
while
nothing.
There are inconsistencies
You're talking about fucking
in the
nothing.
report and that sort of thing. Based on your filing with the court system, that the client articulated that he did hear that, to stop. He was placed in cuffs. Yes, I do agree that law enforcement has a duty to protect anybody within their custody. I also of the opinion and agreement that once somebody is in custody, they should be compliant in a manner that keeps them from getting themselves hurt. Now, again, this isn't a judgment in any way, shape, or form, so I will need to review all the evidence and go over all the testimony as it pertains to this case before I do render any kind of a judgment. So, and while you are discussing inconsistencies within the report and that sort of thing, that's been noted. At this point, there's no reason to remove any of the evidence as it has been presented to court, whether it comes from the defense or the plaintiff.
Understood, Your Honor. So one other thing as well with the evidence, I believe it was evidence.
What do we got, dude?
I apologize, I forgot the number, but the evidence that was submitted both on behalf of plaintiff and defendant, the signs at the entrance to the dam by Postal 723 states that there is no lifeguard on duty. That dam is a public swimming hole as well. Multiple entrances. There is nowhere other than leading to the internal sections of the dam. Particularly only on one side leading to the internal section of the dam that states no trespassing.
I got it.
The defense did submit a sign that had restricted access on it.
Says no trespassing.
I believe the sign says no loitering. Violators will be prosecuted. And that is going to be right across from the danger sign, and which you also submitted a picture of, Mr. Rich. But there is also a cross arm and a stop sign there, as I can see in both the pictures.
Yes, Your Honor. So
Okay.
that is the entrance on one side.
Okay.
That is not the entrance that was used by my client. Again, I don't want to go into what my client can and can't won't say, or he say or she say kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I was what I was told by my client and the other witnesses as well, was the fact that they came back on one of the backside entrances, dirt roads that do not have any signs whatsoever. That is also traveled by the public.
Kevin, they were found in that
that
room.
leads to the dam as well.
Yeah, they were found in.
Your Honor, the defense would request, do we have an opportunity to disclose information or evidence that was also submitted during the discovery? Exhibit 1C clearly shows a sign that says no trespassing beyond the point where the suspect was found.
Is that
Your Honor,
let me answer his question first, sir. That's going to be the one with the stairs to the left. Is that correct? As I'm looking at it.
Yes, Your Honor. And this also included with additional pictures of the scene, and the officer states in his disposition of the arrest that he was found down in that location or seen in that location beyond that no trespassing sign, which in turn created a criminal event of why the officers responded.
Now again, Your Honor, to kind of counter that, if you would allow. So, my client, first off, did not enter said area from that particular portion. There are multiple ways to get into where my client was supposedly seen. That was only one way, and that is not the way that I was told from my client that they had come in from.
Okay. So I don't think anybody is disputing that your client or anybody that could have possibly been with your client at the time was trespassing while on the property around the dam. From what I'm understanding, based on the evidence that has been presented to the court, is that your client was with individuals that were found to be within inside the dam, where it is
Not yet,
posted
man. Not
that
yet.
there
No,
is
yeah,
no
we're
trespassing.
in court right now.
So your client is not necessarily on trial for trespassing within the actual watering hole, swimming area, that sort of thing. Your client was noted as being within the area where there is no trespassing. Is that the way that the defense is presenting their evidence?
Yeah,
From
Your Honor, the defense states that the area of where Mr. Blanco was seen was beyond that gate, and that gate clearly states no trespassing is no trespassing. Whether, no matter what you go into it, that area is a no trespassing zone, and it was observed by officers in that moment on site.
Okay.
When do you guys have some feedback for me? I don't know who.
Does your client dispute this, Mr. Rich?
We dispute at the point of finding where they stated
Did you see
that
him in there, Kevin?
he was seen beyond the trespass gate.
You saw him.
The reason we disputed is just due to the fact that they I believe it even states in the report that they had initially lost eyes for a second. I'll have to double check and review it, but they stated that they had saw him. He ran off. They couldn't really see him until they got back up to the top. And when that happened, that's when they were able to positively identify. Again, this is all he say, she say, without any body cam footage other than a sworn testament from one-sided portion.
Your Honor, the defense requests a moment. Do we have an opportunity to bring a witness to the stand that the plaintiff can also cross-examine if need be?
Yeah, you will get that particular point once it becomes the defense's turn and that sort of thing. Unfortunately, that's going to be on a continuance for the simple fact that I believe it's Crockett Sheriff's Office.
Your Honor, the defense has a witness in-house today that the plaintiff is also aware of that is willing to go on the witness stand.
Okay, but if the plaintiff side does not want to call that particular individual as witness, they do not have to do so. You as defense can call that particular individual as a witness when it does become your turn. Unfortunately, the plaintiff has not necessarily. I'm sorry. Did you waived for the witnesses, correct?
For Deputy Crockett, yes, sir.
Okay, and your client as well?
Not for my client, no, sir.
Okay, so you still want to bring your client to the stand?
It wasn't me who wanted to bring my client, Your Honor.
Okay,
It was just the defense.
Okay, that's so. Plaintiff has no more witnesses, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have anything else to discuss with the evidentiary items?
Other than of course, the LSPD standard operating procedure, where it was clearly stated that all officers, when they go onto a scene, that they're to have their body cam activated, and due to the fact that there was no body cam footage submitted to me or to the court as evidence, to shows that it's a violation of standard operating procedure for LSPD.
Okay. Okay.
That is it for plaintiff.
All right. This is plaintiff rest.
Plaintiff rest.
Okay. Plaintiff is rest. Let's go ahead and note that. Does anybody need a break at this particular point in time?
No, I'm ready to rock and roll, dude. Let the dog out of the fucking cage.
We're gonna go ahead and do a 10-minute short recess.
cock.
Councils, please go ahead and discuss as needed. Obviously, we're gonna do a bathroom break, refreshment break, that sort of thing. We will continue here in 10 minutes, so that will put us at 26 after the hour. 10-minute recess, and we will continue with the defense side.
Oh shit, we get recess?
Oh my goodness, my hemorrhoids are acting up so fucking bad.
All rise.
Jesus Christ.
Let's go upstairs to the meeting room.
10-minute recess.
Hey man, do we get to play kickball at recess?
No, sir.
Come on, guys.
Well, did you say kickball?
They said recess, man. Do we get to play kickball?
No kickball,
You
my
wanna
man.
go to the
We don't have
playground?
time. It's only 10 minutes.
Oh damn.
You know what I can do in 10 minutes?
All right, boys. Kev, I want you to understand. I'm pulling you up here, okay? Are you feel comfortable? You feel ready for this?
Too, there, young man.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I mean, I wanted to say to this guy, like, I'm sorry, are we gonna try out for the SOP of a fucking goddamn police department, or what the hell's going on here? Like, the fact of the matter is your guy wants money from us. He's a fucking criminal. He's a rat, and we need to like. So Kev, I need to get ready to get in there, okay? When we grab a bottle of water, get yourself set up, man. Get yourself comfortable, okay? Now the questions they're gonna ask, okay? You're not gonna have the luxury of invoking the fifth, all right, man? You're a police officer. You can try it a few times, do what they say. I will be there to object when I feel like I need to object. Is there any hot topics here that you feel like you need me to know about? If something gets brought up, I'm gonna say something. I need you to tell me now.
No, I'm comfortable.
Okay, man. All right. I like I said, I judge your character, man. You seem like a good cat. I read the report. From what I'm gathering, I just need to make sure you can place him in that fucking spot, so we know. Hey, this is where he's at. This is what he's doing. You visibly observed a crime happening, and you reacted. That's what I need.
Yes.
I'm not trying to coax you, but is that what you feel like was in your statement? Do you feel comfortable in saying that?
Yes, I do. 100% comfortable.
Okay.
So remember, they also brought up the point about the body cam.
We talked
Make
about
sure-
it, Kevin.
We'll
I already
see.
talked about it.
Yeah, because that's. I think I want to start off with that because.
Well, I would wait until they
was-
ask it. They're gonna ask it. Don't.
Yeah,
start
wait
with anything.
till they ask.
You answer the questions that are asked you, nothing more. What I'll do is, if you see me raise my hand in the courtroom, I want you to try to evade the question a little bit, or I'm looking for you to plead the fifth and see. But there's nothing that you're gonna say it's incriminating yourself. You didn't cause a crime. You simply tried to do a criminal. You know what I mean? That's at the end of the day. That's our leg. Is you simply were doing the job that the city of Los Santos pays you to do. That's what you do.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And that's got to be respected, my man. So.
It's getting intense.
I mean, I felt bad. I didn't want to keep interrupting the,
But we're just beating around the bush. Like, we just literally kept beating it.
I got evidence
Well,
sitting in the locker of
holes.
shit that you had
It's
there.
so many holes in what he's saying, and I'm like, you're
It's
really
just,
not helping.
it's outrageous. And then the other guy, I mean, I don't know if maybe.
Who's he think he is, anyway?
I'm not sure, but he was. Oh, the other lawyer? Oh my God, arrogant. I've seen somebody so fucking arrogant my whole life. I'll be right back, boys. I'm gonna grab a beverage.
All right. You ready? Hey, Chief.
Yes, I am ready.
Sip on that coffee. Get it down, and get down and dirty.
Stretch it out.
Something's going to need stretched out.
One way or another.
Did they try to argue that there wasn't any trespassing signs on the other side as well?
Yeah.
Even though it clearly says authorized personnel only, no
Well,
trespassing.
see, but my thing is, he was inside. Even if you were on the steps, that's one thing. But you were inside the building. Your motorcycle was inside the building.
Right. So, like I said, just make sure that's when he asked, like that's where
This
he's
one's
located.
not blue raspberry. This one is.
We're good. I'm not
Naughty
worried
juice.
about it.
I
So
mean,
we may have to pay those medical bills just because.
And you know, I don't feel bad paying. The medical
Right,
bill, I
right.
don't feel bad.
Because technically, we are,
Make sure you guys
yeah,
are
he's in our
whispering
custody.
too,
So
guys.
that
Make sure
I
you
can
guys are
see. If they can provide me a medical statement that shows how much his medical bills were, I'll be glad to pay that. But he ain't getting nothing else from me. He's a
Make sure
criminal
you guys
at the end
are
of the day. He
whispering.
tried to
It could
execute
have
one of our
been-
guys a couple months prior.
It could have been avoided had he not ran.
Exactly. All you have to do is stop. PTSD or not. All you have to do is stop.
One of you guys on mute me in there?
I didn't mute you.
All right, there we go. Hey, make sure you guys are talking, like whispering here. Don't be fucking blabbering your mouth right here.
Yeah, we are. I'm on.
We should be
Yeah, I'm on.
okay tonight, guys. I should be able to loosen up for this callback because I'm gonna tell you, I haven't had a beer. I haven't drank an alcoholic beverage in probably 8 weeks, and I just put down 2.
What's going on?
In less than 25 minutes because it tastes delicious. And I didn't eat. I haven't eaten since noon. I had Subway. My wife made dinner. We ate it, but she used some like there was a Saratoga olive oil company went and bought.
What's going on?
And it was like cilantro and onion infused olive oil, and I just made it. She was like, I don't like that. I don't like this either.
There's a follow out for Benjamin Barlow. And it does not have a supervisor signature on it. But
hey guys, we're gonna start heading down. We got 4 minutes. Okay.
Take him in after this court is done.
Just let him know.
I've advised him not to.
Done a couple minutes, I guess.
Follows not arrestable. His other warrants that he's had are not have been taken care of.
Okay.
Oh, 948, Mr.
Yeah,
Chase.
just
Thank
let him
you,
know
dude.
to hold off on it.
That's what I'm
Say,
trying to do.
I don't have a radio on. My radio's off. Tell him to come up. It'll be fine. Tell him to come up here if he can meet us up here before we have to head back downstairs.
We only have 4 minutes. We can't be fucking around. So
yeah, I'll say. Tell him, see if you can find him in the lobby and
We'll
tell him to
fry
hold on.
him
And I'll tell him
another
as I
time.
pass.
Hey, somebody
All
grab me.
right, I'll just let him know not to.
I don't have the ability.
You may have to relog.
No, not Kev.
It does. It does that sometimes.
I think it depends, man. I think I could go defense or prosecution. I like prosecution because I like to grill people. I like to fucking rip their stories apart, and that's essentially what I'm doing as a defense lawyer for these guys because we have the evidence for it. You know what I mean? Like we have the stuff that shows that Ron Middleton 1,042 days. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna start heading down. Yeah, we're on a 10-minute recess.
Oh, did you get it?
We got to go on in 3 minutes, so.
Yeah, let's go. I'll say you're standing there.
I'm not. I'm not $5, dude. Fucking, I think I forgot what I even charged Biddle. It's gonna be a couple $100,000.
Huh?
Yeah, we're getting paid. He doesn't know it yet.
Do not take Barlow.
No, I'm getting offline.
Matt Loomis 915. Thank you, Mr. Hutchie 944. Thank you.
Someone's gonna shoot you when you get out of the courtroom. Good luck.
Me?
Yeah, someone's on the roof trying to fucking get ready to fucking kill you guys when you guys walk out.
How do you wait a minute. How would you know the information? Don't tell him anything else. You gotta be. We're 94 and we can't do that.
94, you can't be doing that.
That's made of shit. If he gets shot in the head, he's dead. It's life.
Yeah, if I get shot in the head, I'm dead. I'm not dead. We got people 94 right now. Dropping information.
Still got a couple minutes. Go get settled in there, Kev.
Oh, nah, I fell through the chair. Oh, there we go. You should know better than that. Why would you say that? Whether you know it or not.
Stop letting say you. You know, I thought they fired you, ass.
I can't wait to get my boy fucking Kev up there and he just starts flinging off
Oh, the
answers
fucking
and he's
earth,
all
let me
put
tell you.
together.
But I'll
Can't
tell you,
wait.
see that little gap right there in the bench? You adjust the cheeks just right. It takes the pain away off them.
Man, I gotta tell you, those volunteer firefighter guys, man, they're something else, aren't they? They're full of stories. I love
As a
those cats.
volunteer firefighter guy, let me tell you, I got 1,000,001, brother.
Oh my god, they got the best stories, man. They got the best stories.
Oh, I don't have any morphine.
That and EMTs, man.
I
Get
got
some
some
talk to some EMTs, dude. I learned about whale tarp one time. Oh my god, that's a whole other story. Oh yeah, I'll tell you about it after.
Hang on.
Remind me.
Hang on. Did I hear someone say whale top over here?
Oh yeah. You an EMT?
Oh boy.
Let me tell you about that thing.
Oh, tell us about it. We gotta get ready. The judge should be out shortly.
Oh, I'll wait then, because you know, us old people like to talk, you know.
Oh man, he's a fun fella. Do you know him? What's his name?
Jesus.
Oh man, he's fun.
Yeah.
Sounds like they're close friends.
One more person moved me.
Thank you.
Next time around, I was close.
Hey, I thought we got rid of Stump, but I didn't realize he was still with the department.
Fucking Watson.
Trying to go.
Oh, he's doing all right.
He's all right. We can keep him.
He's doing all right.
John
we'll
with the
keep him around.
1,158
Come
days.
over. Excuse me.
Chris Parr.
Stop
I can argue with it.
Yeah.
We'll give you a couple more days.
I have
okay?
I have a little agency. I got right now. I got a show. He's my legal. He's my paralegal. He's
Thank
still
you,
learning the
Pooh. How
ropes.
about
But
that dinner date tonight?
oh man, I've heard some fucking stories about medical stuff. So with the Code 3 development guys, those guys, two of them were
I don't think he
medics,
does either.
and one of them was
his
some like
ass either.
superstar fucking programmer. They were good dudes, man. And I heard some stories, and it's like,
Oh,
wow.
he touched me. He touched me in my no-no square.
Court is now back in session.
Shh. Thank you. Stay quiet.
Be seated. All right.
Damn it,
Defense.
middle.
It'll go. Just give a second.
Call your first witness.
Yes, Your Honor. The defense would like to call Assistant Chief Gay with the Los Santos Police Department.
All right, you may approach, sir. May I issue the oath, please?
Yes, sir. Sir, can you raise your right hand? Sir, what you are about to say is the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Alright, you may be seated.
Chief Gay, if you can speak up just a little bit for the gallery.
Is that better?
Thank you, sir.
Seat doesn't want me to sit.
That's okay, sir. All right, your witness.
Assistant Chief Gay, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty well.
How well would you say your recollection is of the incident that came about with Mr. Blanco on the 1st of August?
I would say 100%.
Okay. So that day you were, what would you describe when you came about, when you came and saw Mr. Blanco in visual? What were you doing prior to that?
I was dealing with an individual that had driven by me at a high rate of speed on Mirror Park Boulevard. I had attempted to catch up to that vehicle to perform a traffic stop. And by the time I caught up to him, he was at the top of the dam. And he was off his bike attempting to walk into the staircase that leads to the inside of the dam. Myself and a state trooper who was down the road and responding up with me responded, and he got out of the car and I got out of the car and we approached him, and I was speaking with the subject, doing routine questioning, asking, what are you doing up here? No one's supposed to be up here. There's no trespassing signs. And he stated that he was lost, but he kept attempting to try to walk down the steps. I had got his ID from him, ran his name, and he came back clean and clear. So I told him to go ahead and, get out of the area. So he left, but I was a little bit curious why he kept trying to go down into the dam. So I decided to take a walk around the area just to make sure there was no one else there. And Trooper Dwyer was with me. We went to walk down the steps. And as I got to the bottom of the steps, I noticed, at the time I didn't know his name, but I noticed who Benjamin Blanco was bending over working on his bike. By the time I reached the bottom of the steps, he took off running through the exit on the other side of the dam at the bottom. and I went to go give foot chase, and I went over the radio. Once I got off the radio, I was running through the dam, and Trooper Dwyer was right behind me. I saw two bikes inside the dam. I continued out the exit that he went out of, went up the steps, and by that time I got to the top of the steps, I had lost visual of him. I began to look around the area, and that's when I saw him come from beside the dam with his hands up, walking away. I went ahead and drew my gun and was giving him commands to stop walking. He kept stating that he didn't want to, that he didn't like the cops and whatnot. I kept telling him, if you don't stop, you're going to get tased. Because at that point, Trooper Dwyer had called up to me and had pulled out his taser since I had lethal. And he kept walking around, and we kept giving him commands to stop walking or he was going to get tased. After about the fourth or fifth time, that's when I went ahead and gave Dwyer the order to go ahead and tase him.
Jesus Christ, Melly! Fucking Mally.
We okay, gentlemen?
Yes, muscle spasm. Sorry about that.
All right, witness can continue.
And then he goes right back to normal stance.
At that point, Trooper Dwyer had went ahead and tased the individual. I had went ahead and went over the air to request medical because one had been tased. And as I went to go grab the individual, he took off running, and we gave chase again. At that point, my pistol was already holstered, so I did draw my taser because he was a good distance. I would say about 25 yards in front of me. And I kept yelling, "Stop or you're going to be tased." And he circled around the dam, running towards what looked to be the edge. And in order to stop him before getting to the edge, I did tase him in the back. At that point, he did fall. And when he fell, once his knees hit the ground, he went forward and he went off the side of the dam. At that point, I did go over the radio immediately and update medical of the situation and diverted them to the bottom instead of the top. And they went ahead and they took him to the hospital where he was.
That's good. That's good. I got some more questions for you.
Then he was transported to Pillbox.
I like it. All right, dude. I like it. All right, ready? Okay, ready? And okay. Thank you for the very detailed information on the event that day. So a couple questions I have for you, Mr. Gay. With you stated verbally and also in your arrest report that when you were coming down the stairs and you got to the bottom few steps, you saw who you believed and who you identified here in the court today as Mr. Benjamin Blanco?
Correct.
Okay, sir. In the evidence that was produced, I'm not sure if he has the ability to see the evidence, Your Honor, but I believe it was 1C had pictures of no trespassing sign on a stairwell that led down. Assistant Chief Gay, can you confirm that the stairway that you went down matches the one that goes downstairs into the dam?
Which way am I looking for the photo behind? Yes, that's the same one.
Okay, Your Honor. Okay. Now, other question I had for you, sir. Now, how many people did you witness in the area when you arrived on scene that day?
When I first arrived on scene, it was just the one individual on the bike that I had let go.
Do you see that individual today in the courtroom with you?
Your Honor, I'm going to go ahead and object on the basis of relevance.
Does defense have a rebuttal to the objection?
Just part of preliminary questioning, Your Honor. Just asking questions.
They got to go somewhere. You can't just ask questions, sir. So it's any. So far,
Your
the
Honor,
plaintiff is objecting.
The defense is attempting to just set the scene of the incident on the 1st of August.
I believe the officer already did that when he gave his detailed narrative of the scene.
Are you asking a clarifying question, defense?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm asking how many people the officer under oath says that he witnessed on location.
Which is relevant to, forgive me, Your Honor.
Your Honor, the defense can move forward. That's fine. Assistant Chief Gay. So, with that being said, on the incident that transpired on the 1st of August, now you said in your statement that you told this individual multiple times to comply. Were you aware at the time of your interpretation of the individual that he maybe suffered from any form of PTSD or any kind of other ailments or anything from a mental capacity that would inhibit his ability to follow those direct orders?
No, I did not.
Okay, this is follow-up question I have, sir, is when given those orders, now you were very clear and concise that you asked him to stop. When he refused and everything that transpired, it sounds like you were compassionate. You called for medical help immediately as soon as all the events transpired through.
That's correct.
I had a fucking follow-up question. What was it? Okay, Assistant Chief Gay. So last question I have for you is, now I know that day there was a request for body cam footage. Now, do you wear your body cam footage regularly?
I do.
Okay, so you keep your camera active when you're on duty and being actively paid by the Los Santos Police Department.
Per our policy now, I do have my body cam rolling at any time I'm dispatched out to a crime or a call. The time of the event, we did not have a policy in hand, but once this happened, that's when we went ahead and took immediate action and had a policy put in place so that we're always recording.
Awesome. Okay. So would you say that your place of employment reacted rapidly to this event and invoked that policy quickly, and it was adapted by all of your colleagues?
Yes, I would.
Okay. All right. Your Honor, at this point in time, the defense rests with no further questions.
For the witness?
Yes.
Okay. Plaintiffs, it's your witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Co-counsel Chris Parr going to cross-examine.
All right, Kev. Come on, dude.
Assistant Chief, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good on yourself.
I am great, thank you. Just a couple questions I want to touch up on with you really quickly. For starters, to confirm what you stated earlier, you stated that before the second time the individual was tased, you did give verbal command. Is that correct?
Yes, before the first time he was tased and the second time he was tased, commands were given.
Okay. When you filled out your arrest report regarding that, was that notated in the narrative?
It was notated, and I don't have the report in front of me, but I know that it was notated in my use of force report, which is required at any time we use any weapon to stop a suspect.
Understood. At the time that you first observed the plaintiff, before you came into contact with him, were you just simply patrolling?
I was.
Okay. I want to fast forward a little bit to yourself and Dwyer. How would you classify your relationship with Dwyer?
I mean, he's a colleague and a friend.
Okay. Would you happen to know why he left the San Andreas State Police?
I cannot.
Your Honor, the defense objects to that.
It goes to building character of the other officer at scene.
Well, I mean, I can't.
Hold on. The witness can wait. There's been an objection made by the defense, and plaintiff What was your rebuttal?
Rebuttal to that was goes to building character of other officer on scene.
How are you gonna say that?
Does his character have anything to do with him performing his job duties?
Just because we are also looking into the fact of inaccuracies into the original arrest reports on both sides. So this character could help us either validify those inaccuracies or potentially dispel.
Train and do their job. Red State or LSPD.
So I would suggest at this point to ask pointed questions in relation to.
I don't have to. King's understand. Like, he's
Dwyer's
being on track with it.
character
You know
as
what
a
I
law
mean?
enforcement officer.
I just didn't. It
versus,
doesn't. Dwyer.
his
I'm not trying to get
personal
Dwyer out of the
character outside
conversation
court
here,
as
so we'll just
his law
object to
enforcement
it.
character does have relevance, whereas his personal character has no bearing on this at all.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, moving forward for just a second on that. Going back to before you made contact, you stated that you were in a chase under oath. Did you clarify that if you were in a chase before making contact with the individual, or did you engage in a chase with?
I engaged with the chase with the individual the moment I got to the bottom of the steps and he noticed me and took off running.
Okay, before you originally made contact, though, there was no chase, there was no pursuit.
No, I had just finished with the individual up at the top.
Okay, understood. So I want to ask about use of force. It is common knowledge that the use of force continuum goes through the usual steps: verbal command, physical strikes, taser. The question I have for you is, are you aware of what a taser does to the human body?
I am. I've been tased myself. Every officer that carries one.
Nice work, dude. All right.
So
Keep
during
working it, Kev. Keep
the
working it.
second interaction where the individual was cuffed, can you articulate if there was a threat that the individual posed that made you feel as less than lethal force was necessary?
Yes. Although the individual was cuffed, I did not have a chance to search him yet. I did not have that sitting in front of me. He was wearing known gang colors that we have had interactions with.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm not even paying attention to this. I'm just focused on this. Alex, 1,271 days. Thank you. Tanner, 1,147.
He had a weapon on him, which after he was searched, he did have 2 weapons on him. So I was not sure how my safety was going to be with this individual running away.
So to confirm, if an individual is cuffed, do they have the potentiality to be able to pull out a weapon?
Yes. If you have a weapon tucked in your back, it's easy to pull a handgun, which I found on the individual, out the back of your belt. All you have to do is point it, and you just need 2 fingers to pull the trigger. You can have a knife on you. You can have a needle on you.
Okay, so I apologize. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm finished.
Okay. So I do want to ask this. Were you aware of the surroundings of the individual at the time that you tased him, being that he may have been on the edge, possibly falling off, getting ready to fall off, should a taser be deployed and render him essentially motionless for a period of time?
To be honest, the scene was not 100%
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
secure because when I did engage in a foot pursuit with this individual, there was 2 bikes there, but only 1 person. So I was under the assumption that there was another person on scene. And in order to stop this individual and be able to search the rest of the scene, yes, I do believe that it was okay and right for me to use a taser to stop this individual.
Your Honor, I'd request that the witness does answer the question as far as if he was aware of the surroundings of the plaintiff at the time that the taser was used.
The witness will answer the question as it was asked.
I mean, I'm not understanding what he means by surroundings. Like, was he inside, outside, cars around? I don't understand what you're saying.
Were you aware that there was a possibility of the plaintiff potentially falling off the edge of the cliff or the edge of any other footing where, when you tased him, he would have that potentiality?
Yeah,
when I tased him, I was under the assumption that he would stop before falling off the edge, which he was running towards. I did not think that he was going to fall over the edge.
Okay, if you had known that he was going to fall off the edge, would you have deployed taser?
Objection.
I'm not sure. I can't do.
The witness can wait. Hold on. What is your objection, defense?
This is leading. It's what could happen.
I would like to be the one to point out that officers are tasked with making split-second decisions, and these are questions that are also often asked, not only during civil suits, but internal affairs discretionary investigations in a manner to establish articulable, reasonable basis for the use of force.
He already stated in his report why he did it.
I would ask that the plaintiff ask pointed questions in terms of
Just let it be, buddy.
relevance.
Just let it be. You just gotta play the game.
Yes, you are correct.
Throw it in here.
A law
You gotta play the game,
enforcement
dude. I know it's there. I know that, but I don't want him looking.
Split-second decisions.
I don't want to. I'm not doing the work for
involving
him.
life and death, but remind plaintiff that while they are highly trained officers, they're also human beings and can be they're not infallible, such as counsel. You're not infallible either. So,
Of course. Again, why I was asking the question is just simply because it helps to point towards the officer's discretionary judgment.
Your Honor, the defense feels the reason for the objection is the officer called for medical in the description in his report. That showed to me and hopefully the court that it's compassion and care for the work and the individual at the incident.
Would like to point out that that was after the fact, and that objection has not only changed reason, but at this point has no relevance to the question that is being asked.
the objection is overruled.
Okay.
So, again, Assistant Chief, given the situation, if you had known that there was the possibility of him falling off the edge, would you have used the same amount of force?
If I had thought that he was going to fall off the edge from the result of my taser, is what you're asking me?
Yes, sir.
No, I would not have.
Okay. Your Honor, plaintiff has no further questions for this witness.
Does the defense wish to cross?
Yes, Your Honor. Assistant Chief Gay, you stated earlier that when you were coming down the stairs when you witnessed Mr. Blanco, and you said you noted that there was 2 bikes on location.
Yes.
Was the owner of the second bike ever founded on the location?
No. After the scene was being processed by 2 detectives, someone came back to the scene and shot both officers, and one of the bikes was taken.
Do you believe that the person who took the bike on location was the original owner of the bike when you first made initial contact?
Objection. Relevance?
Sustained.
I would.
The witness does not need to answer.
The defense has no further questions.
All right. Witness, you.
This isn't a trial to put that other guy
The gallery
in there,
again?
though. That's the thing. Like,
Defense, you can call your next witness.
Your Honor, the defense has no further witnesses, and request to move to defense evidence.
All right. Let the record state that no one has any witness, and you may move on to evidentiary.
Okay, Your Honor. Let me just get my files in order here. All right, excuse me, Your Honor. Per the evidence that was given on the discovery trial, in Exhibit 1C is founded a white no trespassing sign on the gate, and per the disposition of Assistant Chief Gay, that is the gate that he went down, and when he made contact with Mr. Blanco, which then initiated the illegal activity observed by the officer.
Okay.
Also in Exhibit 1D, it shows the room in which the 2 bikes were found, which were was described at the bottom of that staircase, just to further solidify the location being in a no trespassing zone.
Okay. So based on the evidence I'm seeing here, especially with Exhibit 1D, you're stating that bikes were found inside that room?
Your Honor, yes. The bikes that the drivers or the gentleman on scene were inside of that room, and the officer stated that one of them, Mr. Blanco, was working on one of the bikes in that room.
Okay, I do not see any bikes within the exhibit.
Oh, Your Honor, this wasn't an on scene. This was after the fact to just show the scene and where it was at.
Do we have any evidentiary photos showing that the bikes were in there?
If you're asking if we have any evidentiary photos showing crimes happening in the moment, no. At this time, we do not. And the body cam footage was not currently implemented in full strength across the department at that moment as well.
Okay. Is it not policy for most law enforcement, or actually all law enforcement agencies, to secure the scene after crime has been committed and take evidentiary photos?
Your Honor, that may be the case. Today's trial is not regarding as far as operating policies within departments. It's just simply to agree or disagree to pay some amount of an incident that did occur.
Objection, Your Honor. It is, however, relevant in the manner of determining whether or not a policy was violated by officers on scene in the handling of our client as well as the crime scene itself.
Plaintiff is correct. Defense counsel.
Your Honor, as far as the location of where the crime happened, both officers noted in their reports that this is where the crime was concurred. I know there was a follow-up with the investigation of the crime scene, and at that moment, 2 detectives were shot by an individual returning to the crime scene and retrieving one of the bikes that were in the garage. I'm not sure if maybe that had any implications within the proper protocol here, but unfortunately, there was bloodshed during this process.
And I'm not being dissensitive to the detectives being shot and that sort of thing. It just kind of makes it difficult to give credibility to officers' reports when there's unfortunately no evidence to support the statements that are being made in that regard. So I would implore the LSPD, if they do have evidentiary photos, to produce them to the court and also to the plaintiff counsel if they do have them.
Your Honor, with all due respect, how are trials ran if there's no photography available or body cams? I mean, it's done off statements, which both witnesses were brought to the stand and sworn under oath and verbally stated. The assistant chief of the Los Santos Police Department verbally stated under oath and in his report that he witnessed the gentleman on that location.
And I'm not refuting the validity of Assistant Chief Gay's report and his testimony this evening. It's just more you're making a statement stating that the bikes were in there, and while no photo evidentiary hasn't always been the case, including body cams, within the court systems within the United States, we do have the technology, available at this point. So, again, if there is evidence available showing with the statements being made and that sort of thing, then it can help
LSPD's on trial.
the defense case to lend credibility, additional credibility to the reports and the statements that have been made by the law enforcement officers.
The defense understands, Your Honor. I'll move forward.
Okay.
So moving onward, with what was submitted and requested within the petition of this civil trial, as it stands, the Los Santos Police Department would be willing and able to cover within the medical expenses, but due to with the evidence that is in Exhibit 2A, 2C, 2B, all concluded within the arrest of Mr. Blanco. He was found with objects and items that he was not to be in possession of illegal. He was arrested on the moment. I'm not seeing where the wrongful arrest was taken into place. So the Los Santos Police Department wouldn't be comfortable with agreeing to that. As far as the wrongful use of force, the officers trained in the moment. At the time, I know with advancements, things are made, but they were giving a lethal weapon, a nightstick, and a taser. The officers deploy their tasers. They're not willing to accept that.
Your Honor, I'm going to go ahead and object to the fact that this is an evidentiary discovery session, and the council is discussing settlement at this point, something that had already been discussed previously.
Your Honor, where the defense is trying to lead to, I apologize, plaintiffs. Where I'm trying to lead to is with the evidence that was sustained within the discovery link, within the exhibits of 2C and 2A, the reports, I believe, everything that would be needed to support the cases within those. I have no further questions at this time, or no further evidence to input other than the discovery meeting. If any other evidence comes to fruition within the bikes, I will admit that to the court and the plaintiffs to decide if that is to be used.
Okay.
Thank you. I mean, either way, settlement-wise, I don't...
Plaintiff and defense, are you ready to move to closing arguments, or table that for another session?
The defense is ready to move.
Is plaintiff ready for closing arguments? Anytime, sir.
Plaintiff is ready for closing arguments, sir.
All right, go ahead and give your closing statement.
Yes, sir. So as you, so today, as we heard from multiple witnesses, there was definitely some, misjudgment of everything. Unfortunately, this did lead to my client being hurt, being, having medical bills, a bunch of other things that have happened, more emotional distress, more PTSD.
I'm hoping I can give
We
my
just
final
wish,
statement here.
honestly, Your Honor, we just wish that, that my client receives compensation for everything that have happened to him. And like I said, he is willing to work with LSPD, to kind of pursue further the training of officers on the proper use of force, especially after they've already been handcuffed. With that, like we mentioned, Your Honor, we are willing to drop down our pricing of certain items to make it more not just beneficial to the client, but also to make sure that we don't want to bankrupt LSPD or anything with the high amount that we were initially asking for. So we are willing to work in regards to pricing. With that, I have no further comments for closing remarks.
All right. Defense, you can give your closing statement.
Your Honor, the defendant, or the, excuse me, just take a sip of this water. Your Honor, the, at this point in time, it was clear that Assistant Chief Gay arrived on scene with Trooper Dwyer. They did their jobs that day. They checked out little things that didn't look right, and they did their jobs. Okay, accountability is a huge part of the police force. As far as with the accountability goes, the two gentlemen that were involved that day did what they thought was right. As far as compensation, the reason why the Los Santos Police Department doesn't feel compelled to compensate to the extent that they're requesting is simply due to the fact that two gentlemen went and did their job that day. Mr. Blanco was found to be committing a crime, was found to be in possession of items that was listed on his arrest report that he was not to be in possession was and does have a criminal record. Although the Los Santos Police Department does take a very strong stance with mental illness and PTSD, to be a active member in society and to be able to interact with individuals within this city, in the county, and the entire state, you must be able to follow simple guidelines within that civilization. Obeying law enforcement, regardless of your demeanor, is a requirement within any civilization. Date back from millions of years. It's required that you obey your law enforcement. The commands were given by the police officers multiple times to avoid any and all implications that happened that day. And unfortunately, due to the inability to follow those commands that would have led to a very safe and simple interaction, was transpired to what it became due to the actions solely of Mr. Benjamin Blanco. The defense has no further input for the closing statements.
All right, thank you, sir. You may be seated.
Do you think we got it? How do you feel about that?
All right, so as I will be adjudicating and ruling on this case, I will look at all the evidence as it has been submitted. I am going to ask for additional evidence from the Los Santos Police Department. If you could please forward to my office and also the plaintiff, the body cam SOP as it relates to this particular instance, and
we don't have,
when that
okay. So we don't have a body cam, dude.
Policy went into effect. I would remind plaintiff counsel and co-counsel that this document that you're receiving should be considered confidential. It is not
I thought we
for
did. I have no idea.
Public
it's in
release.
the
It is also
thing is
not
we don't have a
meant to
date
be
tied to it.
shared with your clients and that sort of thing. I don't want to necessarily give it some kind of a classification like secret or anything like that, but these type of policies and procedures don't necessarily need to be disseminated to the public at will, for the simple fact that unfortunately it allows unfortunately criminal individuals to find ways to circumvent policies and procedures that are made in good faith for the protection of everybody, including the law enforcement officers and the public in general. With that being said, if I require any
he had drugs on him, it's founded. I mean, there's nothing more to do. You have enough on there to be counted as
and or the defendant,
intent to sell.
I will make that request through my office.
I might grab a little zone after, guys. I don't know if you guys are down for seeing that.
With
I'm gonna roll this off here a little bit.
Evidence that I do
once we get finished up. This has been like
from either
a
counsel,
lot. We've been building up for this.
That
so.
needs to make sure that that gets forwarded to the other counsel as well.
What exactly is he wanting?
Once I have
he wants,
come to a decision and make
I'll have to rewatch it. I think he wants a
we
date of
will
your SOP
schedule,
going into event. So, is that your daughter? Is it on your lap?
to go over that and any
she can't see
compensation
me,
if it is warranted.
Hi.
Will be discussed at that particular point in time.
Hi. Oh man.
Nothing further at this time. Again,
awesome.
I will reach out to both counsel when I have made my decision, and we will get time to discuss that here within courtroom. I have nothing further. Court is adjourned.
All rise. You are now.
You got like a slow roll.
Well, boys, how do you guys feel?
Like,
yeah, I'll send it to you.
I feel really good.
Yeah.
Well,
let's go get shot.
He said, let's go get shot, man. Hold on, put my hat on.
Oh, there's a helicopter. Look at all the fucking cop cars. Jesus. I'm gonna go back here to my Mercedes. And I'm gonna go back to my crib, bitch. Oh yeah, you gotta pay me an installment, don't you, Biddle? Well, don't die, dude. I'll meet you somewhere. Where do you want me to meet you at? I'll meet you at the closest parking garage. Human feces under the door handle? Oh, and no one fucked in my car, too. Where do you want me to meet you? Okay, I can do that. Someone put human feces under the fucking door handle there. What's Mission Row? That's what, 217? Yeah, we got some snow while we were in court, dude. It was snowing, but it wasn't anything on the ground yet before we got in. Yeah, I got nothing. There was somebody had human feces under the door handle, so. And I'm driving this sweet Mercedes, guys, with the heads-up display. Oh, my kid can be a dick sometimes too, man. I still love the shit out of him. He's just sometimes he's a little bit of a pecker. Just that's my job as his dad. My job is to make him less of a dick. You know what I mean? Like, hey, dude, you know, it'd be cool if you were nicer to people. Oh yeah, Dad, you're right. So guys, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat what you think Biddle should be paying me to be his lawyer. After you watching that court case, guys, let me know in the chat. Put a number up while Biddle pay it. You down, Biddle? We'll see what the chat says. No. Million's too much, guys. No, I would say, guys, it's gotta be under 500,000 because that is the maximum payout for this guy. Now, obviously, one is we don't want him to pay because one is not they were doing their job, they were doing everything they were supposed to do. You know, but two, how many hours? Jeff says. I don't know. We've had 2 different court cases. We're probably gonna have maybe 3 total. Yeah, well, that was 2 hours. So in the court case, the first one's an hour and a half or so. We've already got 3-4 hours to do it. I was stuck. What did I tell you? 200? I think I told you 200 is what I told you. I thought that was manageable. I mean, you guys, they got fucking whole police department. They're rich, you know what I mean? John says $1,000. You know what? Biddle might be into that. $10 at a day to McDonald's. 50-60% of the payout, Lago says. Well, there's no payout for us because the problem is we're not paying out. That's the goal, guys. So, obviously, like, one, I don't want these guys paying because I really don't think they did anything wrong. Like, do I think they should have the body cams on? Yeah. But it was also, you know, it is what it is. Is that... Tanner was saying 350. So my thought was I want it to be less than the 500, but I want it to be like, it's gotta be worth enough to, like, you gotta set a price. Like, I'm a lawyer, so I don't have a job in the server. I make $5 every 15 minutes in the server. Like, this 275? Yeah, Tanner was thinking 350. $50,000 per court appearance. I have to look. I can probably look at my bank history. Well, we must pay a little bit. You know what happens if you get fired? You know what I mean? I gotta get paid. I don't know. Let's fucking figure it out. Well, how do you feel? How do you feel like it went? Looks like I had 40,000 in there. So yeah, I think he gave me 40. You know what we should do? You know, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. Why don't? Yeah, you guys figure it out. I'm gonna put a poll up for a total though, chat. But it's got to be under 500. You guys will go ahead and put it on there. How about I put a poll up? We're gonna figure out what the fuck we're doing here. So you know what Biddle's even gonna put in? You know, a number. He can have one. There's 4 spots. He can have one. Give me $1. I don't care. That's his pick. How much does LSPD pay me total? Now to put in reference for everybody watching it before we put it live, I know state's got, I don't know, quite a few $million of dollars. What does LSPD got to play with? You're a full-size Los Santos Police Department. They have a dollar amount attached to them for a budget. So don't be afraid of it, guys. But we're gonna go. I'm not gonna do 500. It's way too much. Way too much. So I'm gonna say, the grand total would be, let's say, $175,000. Okay, and then the next option we're gonna say is gonna be $250,000. And then the third option is probably going to be, let me check what you guys said in here. 375, say 250. So we're about there. We're probably going to go up and do, so we'll say 350,000 on the high end, and we'll do one for Biddle. Just one for Biddle. So if he gives me 50,000 today, that'd round us out at 90,000. Let's say if the grand total was $150,000. You got out of this whole thing for 150. You guys can vote on that. You comfortable with that one, Biddle? Or you want it less? You get one pick. You get one pick. Everyone gets a vote on it. So these are the options: 175, 250, 350, or there's one option that you get to pick. You've already given me 40, so obviously it's got to be more than 40. Not all of it. No, I'd probably take like, why don't we do 60? Because that would round us out on a flat 100,000 I've received from Biddle. And this is the total. So if you pick 150, you would only owe me another $50,000. Like this is the grand total. So that's just added on. Do you want to do 150 or do you want to do 100 flat? Just say if this is it. Your pick. You get the 4th pick. People are gonna vote on it. There's 34 people watching. Everyone's got to vote. Do how much? If I do 100,000, I'm gonna do 4. I'm gonna do. All right, fuck. We'll do 3. Boom. All right, let's do it. Save it. All right, guys. So we're gonna get this poll up. Polls up now, guys. It's been activated. Let me know in the chat, guys. Let me know on the poll. The poll is what we're gonna go off. You can put stuff in the chat, but the poll is what we're going off from. Let me know if it's showing up for you guys. It should be up there now. We're just gonna start walking up. We'll go visit with Kev. We'll give it a couple minutes. We'll check it. And all in all, we gotta get paid, guys. You know, we're representing a fucking massive police department that encompasses the entire city of Los Santos. So right now the poll's sitting 2 at 175,000, 10 at 250,000, 4 at 350,000. Because I'm in my mind, that's what I'm thinking, guys. His max was 500,000. I think he's gonna have to pay if they settle. Like I'm comfortable doing paying stuff for 75, but I feel like I'm curious to see what they're gonna come back with us at. What King's gonna decide on. But I'm sorry, dude. You broke the fucking law, man. You were founded with drugs and weapons. You were doing wrong, and these guys caught you. This sucks. That's what happened, dude. You got caught. Should they have tased him that close to the ledge? Maybe not. Maybe we should have used pepper spray. Maybe there's other options. Things could have happened. But regardless, at the end of the day, a crime happened and it was stopped. Job was completed as paid and as expected for that police department. That's reasonable to me. I don't know if you can let me in or not, but I'm down in the main lobby. What is this? Break this camera? Oh, I broke a camera in here. Oh, I didn't. Camera's broken. Fuck your camera, Beto. Just breaking cameras. E, I send a bit. Subject. Pay me, daddy. Details. Making your life better. Fall show.
I can't see nothing in this vehicle, in this building. I have no questions.
See, Lago, have a good night, dude. Are you hopping into any Zony later or no? Are you going Betty bed? So right now, it looks like we only had one other vote for 350. So right now, the majority is at 250 grand. That means at the end of this, Mr. Pitto would owe me $150,000 payout at the end, and that would round us out and finish us. That's not good, buddy.
Nice to see you.
Oh, alright, dude. No worries, man. Oh, you locked me out, dude. That's right. I know Biddle can always help me later. I'm not too worried about it. I'll just hop off. I mean, chat knows it. Everyone knows it. So we're gonna end up when we get the car parked and we get it put away. That should be about another couple minutes from now. That's when we're gonna close the poll and decide what Biddle owes us.
So how about a rematch soon?
I say Biddle. It's the
You were on fire
LSPD,
the
but
other day.
I think it's just. Oh.
Not cool.
That's the police garage. We need to go to. Where's the closest garage around here, dude? I got it. Yeah, dude. It's alright, dude. I'll get you another night. I'm not that worried about it. Like you. When I get back and park my car, I'm going to end the stream out and see what it comes up as. Right now, you owe me $750,000. And 50% stake of your company. And a handy mouthy. This Mercedes I drive is pretty sweet. I ain't gonna lie, guys.
Fuck you! You sick fuck!
Yeah, I heard the traffic was intense on Dorset Drive today.
And a date night at McDonald's. Can't forget the date night at McDonald's, dude. Alright guys, we're rolling up here on the end point. We're going to find out what Biddle's going to owe us. You know guys, I like it if you're going to help my GTA character make a ton of money. So we're only 5 votes away on 350,000 to close that one out. But right now the leader is 250K total, which I think I told Biddle too. So 250 I think is pretty fair. I would say when he was tased once and didn't comply, he wasn't real worried about his own safety at that point. When police are responsible for public safety. Then I got in control of him, he would have become a danger to the community. Listen, Mr. D, man, listen, dude, I agree 1,000% with you. And that's where our stance was today. That's why we said we would be willing to settle for the medical stuff. I gotta be willing to, you know, if the guy was sick, I know he had to go to the hospital, like, I get it, you know what I mean? And these guys were comfortable with doing that. They were okay with it. But you're trying to ask some stupid amount of money, man, and I'm sorry, but bro, you did wrong. You did wrong. That was on you. These guys did their jobs. You know, granted, could those guys had the body cam on? Absolutely. They should have, but they didn't, and it happens. You know what I mean? It happens. And now, you know, they're on all the time. They're much better with it. But it was the first day it was implemented, and it happens. You know, but all in all, the guy was founded with drugs on him and weapons. And he was a felon at the time. You know what I mean? So, like, not only are you a felon, you also were in ownership of items you weren't supposed to have because you're a felon. And with enough drugs to be considered intent to sell, you were in the wrong when you got there. Like, so, we'll see. Alright guys, we're going to roll off the stream. Right now, this is the grand total. Alright? We're going to end. We're going to end. We're going to pause it. We're going to show the results. Okay, it's closed. Results are active, guys. So as of right now, we got 4 people, 20% of the voters, 175,000. Okay, we got 7 people, $350,000, 35% of the voters. But the winner in what LSPD will be paying for our services as legal counsel for this event is 45%, and it's $250,000. So I know that he has paid me 40 from the get-go. We know he owes us 210,000. So whether the next time we get on, we get it from him in total, or we get an installment the next time, I would guess I would just request that he gives it at the time of when the final judgment's made. But all in all, guys, so it's a little bit of the legal side of it. We did have a preliminary discovery, probably about 6 weeks ago. Put our evidence in. I mean, just the way I'm looking at it, it seems like we got our shit buttoned up, guys. But I'm going to go ahead and roll off stream. It's been about 2.5 hours. We've had a good stream, guys. Thanks for hanging out and hanging out as long as you have. Following the stream, seeing what's going on, checking out the court cases. If you guys liked the stuff, you guys were like, hey, you know, this was kind of a neat stream, guys, let me know in the chat or post it on the page, whatever. But, you know, I'd appreciate it, guys. So, you guys have a good night. I'll see you guys all later, and take care of yourselves. Bye.